Hello you beauties, welcome back to Most Amazing Top 10. It is that time of day where we take 10 crazy things, pop them in a list and make a top 10 video for you. I'm Rebecca Felgate and today we are doing top 10 differences between Canada and the US as told by a British girl. Yes. So first up guys, before we get started on this extremely exciting top 10, I want to hear from you. Yes you, right there. Could you tell me which country you would most like to visit on holiday? Let me know in the comment section down below. I think that I would absolutely love to go to Vietnam. I think it'd be amazing, I love the food, get me there. So let's get started on our top 10 differences between the USA and Canada. Ooh, as told by me, a girl from England, but living in Canada. At number 10, we have Thanksgiving. So both America and Canada do celebrate Thanksgiving, but they are different holidays celebrated on different dates. Thanksgiving in Canada happens on the second Monday of October, and the holiday is to celebrate the harvests and blessings of the past year. Now a lot of Canadians celebrate Thanksgiving on the Sunday and use the Monday as a welcome day off. I celebrated Thanksgiving in Canada this year and it was incredible. In America, Thanksgiving happens on the fourth Thursday in November. The holiday is also a harvest holiday and celebrates peace between Pilgrims and Native Americans. In America, people get 2 days off work rather than just the one in Canada. They get Thanksgiving itself and then Black Friday, which is like a crazy shopping day where everyone like stampedes over each other. In at number 9, we have the drinking age. So in Canada, it is legal to drink from age 19, but in the States, you can't drink till you're 21. It's 18 in England. Holla! Whilst you are able to drink at 19 in Canada, if you live in Ontario like me, you might struggle to buy liquor from the liquor store past 10 PM because they close, whereas in the USA, most Walmarts will sell you booze. In at number 8, we have iced tea. Now I learned this lesson the hard way. In Canada, like pretty much everywhere else in the world, iced tea is a lovely sweet drink served cold, flavored with like peach or lemon. In America, it's just cold tea. Cold tea. Cold bag brewed tea without the flavors. Incidentally, they do have what Canadians call iced tea, they just call it sweet tea in America. Americans, saying it like it is. Ish. Shoehorning in another beverage into our list, at number 7 we have coffee, Starbucks versus Tim Hortons. Now moving to Canada, I had no idea that Tim Hortons was gonna be like a massive thing, but honestly it's a national institution out here, everybody loves it. Pretty much every Canadian I know goes to Tim Hortons once a week, if not once a day. They do incredible things called Timbits, which are like little donuts, they're really nice. Everyone loves Tim Hortons coffee. Now whilst they do have Starbucks in Canada, Tim Hortons is the preferred coffee of choice. In America however, Starbucks is the biggest franchise. It was started in Seattle and it has quickly taken over the rest of the USA, if not the world. Americans love a good Starbucks. If you're walking down the street in America, any street, USA, you are likely to spot many Americans holding that iconic Starbucks mug. Incidentally, however, many people don't know that Canadians actually, per capita, drink more coffee than Americans. Who knew? In at number 6, we have speech. Now in Canada, you know, the accents are almost similar to Americans, but they do vary a little bit. I for one have noticed that people say a lot. No, like it's true. They say a. And when they say things like about, it sometimes comes out about. And I love that, that's really nice. Also in Canada, whilst there are different dialects across the different states and regions, they don't sound as wildly different as American accents. For example, in America, you can have someone from the deep south who will sound completely different to someone from Boston, Texas, New York. In at number 5, we have money. Now whilst the US and Canada do use something called the dollar, they are in fact two separate currencies. The Canadian dollar looks very different to the US dollar, it's very colourful, and the $50 notes smell like maple syrup. Some people have tried to tell me that this is not true, but honestly, get a fresh 50 or a fresh bunch of 50s, why not, because you know, payday. Smell them, it is maple syruped right up. Also, Canadian currency has the Queen on it, whereas in the US they have various government officials. They're all white males as well. Honey, you need to get some black females on there immediately. I need a dollar, holla, dollar is what I need. In at number 4 we have spelling. Now Americans and Canadians do both speak and write English. One is American English and one is Canadian English. Neither, however, are English English, or as I call it, the correct English. Just joking. So like the Brits, Canadians use you in words like favourite, colour and neighbour, but like the Americans, they will use a Z instead of an S in words like materialise and visualise. Canadians also use two L's to spell the word traveller. Whilst we're on the topic, Canadians pronounce letters differently to some in the US. So for example, I'll say Z, Canadians will say Z, but in the US they will say Z. In at number 3, we have size and population. Now Canada is actually bigger than America. Canada is 3,855 square miles, whereas the total land area in America is 3,794 square miles. That said, the population in America is almost 10 times the size of that in Canada. Canada has around 33.5 million citizens, whereas America has a whopping 307 million. So Canada, a lot of space, not that many people. Ramping up the differences, in at number 2 we have gun laws. Now the Second Amendment was written over 250 years ago in 1791, but Americans still very much stick to that right to bear arms thing. Presumably there were a lot less people in the 1700s, but you know, whatever, it's their right. Right? Between the years of 2001 and 2013, 406,000 people died by firearms on US soil. In that same period, only 3,000 people died as a result of terrorism, and this includes figures from the horrifying 9/11 attack. So I totally understand the war on terrorism, sure, but there should be a war on guns. Like, guns killed 100 times more people than terrorism. Like, guys. Now gun crime in Canada, gun-related deaths, is around 75% lower. That's because their laws are a lot stricter on guns. Canada certainly does have guns, but their use is way more restricted. Firearms need to be registered, people who apply for their own guns have to pass a criminal background check. Most people use guns for hunting up in the north of Canada, not for shooting people. So maybe chill out on the guns. Okay guys, so we have reached that number 1 moment in our top 10 differences between America and Canada. I mean, I feel like we've learned a lot. Me as a Brit, I've learned a lot. I for one can say that I certainly love both countries. America is incredible, there are so many places to visit. Canada is my new home, I love it a lot. But what is the number 1 difference between these two fabulous countries? I will tell you, it is healthcare. Now for me, this is the most important difference between Canada and America. Canadian citizens can receive free healthcare, meaning if they get injured, if they get hit by a bus, they don't have to sell their house to pay for the treatment if they're uninsured. Now England has been flying the flag for free healthcare for a long time, just saying. In Canada, large parts of the healthcare system are free. By free, I mean, like, you know, as I said, if you get hit by a bus, you won't have to sell your house. However, you know, you still have to pay things like prescription drugs, home care and glasses. Now this is all because of the Healthcare Act of 1984, and this regulates the quality of service that people get. In the USA, however, if you get sick and you're uninsured, you are in trouble. Luckily, many people do get insurance cover with their jobs, but if they happen to be out of work or they get sick on something that's not covered in their plan, they can be in danger. Now many people from the USA say that the fact that they have to pay for their healthcare means that they get a better quality of service. That said, for me, I like to know that if I fall down in the street, someone's going to pick me up, not check my bank balance first. So that is the end of our top 10 differences between America and Canada. Did I miss any out? Let me know what you think in the comments section below. Are there any differences that I didn't put in? I mean, I know we eat a lot of poutine here in Canada and cheeseburgers in America, but I still like cheeseburgers. Hooray! I'm Rebecca Felgate. Be sure to like, share, subscribe to our channel. I'll see you next time.